Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 30th. You have this Javelina card. It says choice on it. I love this card for some reason. I don't know why. You have the sun. It says joy and healing on it. So I would make the choice to invite more joy and healing into your life. Like a lot of people have had these cards that really say that, not only this week, but July is going to be a very powerful time for healing, bringing more happiness into your life. So I would definitely do that. A lot of people in the July monthly readings had the devil. And, it just seemed like a collective thing going on to me personally, because everybody had it, basically, except for I think like two signs didn't. And so, to me, it was kind of like saying that people need to not only like do things to stay healthy, but also need to avoid things that are obviously toxic, right? But this could be anything. I think people think of the devil as only a person, but the devil could be anything. It could be a habit. It could be a TV show that you watch, right? It could be music that you listen to. It could be anything that steals your vibe, that steals your energy. And I would be very, very careful of those things. And that's kind of like what's popping into my head. And so, there you go. You have in the area of your current general energies the Three of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups wanted to come out together in the world. And the Three of Wands is a card of expansion. Jupiter has left your opposite sign, Gemini, but you're about to have Uranus enter into Gemini, your opposite sign, which could be pretty interesting. I never really worried too much about Uranus energy. It's kind of funny because for like years, I always used to worry about this, especially when I was younger. I had some crazy transits, going on with my Uranus and my chart. I always used to worry about it, and then nothing would happen. But Uranus is very unpredictable. So, that's the thing, is that you really can't predict it, right? And so everybody's saying things like Uranus going to Gemini. It's basically happening July 7th or whatever it is, very close to July 4th, America's birthday, right? This is the first time that we had Uranus and Gemini, basically when this country was founded, exactly the same astrology, right? And so everybody's worried. They're all saying oh, civil war and all this other stuff. But it's you really can't say that because Uranus is very unpredictable and anything could happen, right? So there you go. And I wouldn't even try to predict it. But on a personal level, for you here, Sag, what I would be paying attention to is opportunities to grow, opportunities to expand, opportunities to get out there and adventure. For the past few months, we've been, kind of talking to you about how your readings really have been saying to me that Sagittarius is becoming a Sagittarius. It's maybe something has happened over the past few years that kind of got you away from your nature. And I feel like the best way I can describe the feeling I get from your readings lately, for the past few months at least, is that you are returning to your nature. It's you're returning to your natural self, which, obviously is good, not bad. Next, you have the Five of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. Yes, if you don't like something, don't do it anymore, is kind of what this is saying to me. Seven of Pentacles is a change in direction. Five of Cups, he's grieving the loss of something that he no longer enjoys. So the whole point of the Five of Cups is to let go of things that no longer serve you and turn around, be grateful for those two cups, and then you get the bridge and the castle over there. So, that's the whole point of the card. But there's definitely probably some sort of change. I mean, we also, not only do we have these cards here, but right next to it, we have the Ten of Swords, the Death card, Judgment card. Even the World can represent the end of something, right? The World is an achievement or an accomplishment, but it can also just represent, ending a cycle or wrapping something up. So in a lot of ways, I feel you could be walking away from something. I did a reading with the lovely Devin Dewar on her channel yesterday, so you can go watch that. We did the rest of the year reading, basically, together, all signs. And we were talking about you, Sagittarius, in a good way. We weren't talking behind your back in a bad way. And we were saying how, it's a lot of Sages that we know have been pushed into doing something different work-wise or business-wise or in their life. And it's but the thing that we were talking about for Sagittarius is that it's some of you might think that you need a career, for example. And I'm not saying you don't. I'm just giving you an example here. But it's maybe something has happened to pull you away from that career and it has forced you into doing something else that you're actually going to enjoy a lot more. So, don't be afraid of changes. Don't be afraid of doing more things that you enjoy. All that stuff is kind of comes up with the world. I also do think the world is literally saying Sagittarius needs to get back to their adventurous self, and any type of adventure you can go on with the Three of Wands and the world would be a good idea. With the Three of Wands, you have the Knight of Wands, which is adventure. Yes. These could be little tiny adventures. It doesn't have to be anything important. It could be an adventure you go on in the comfort of your own home. I always say like learning new things, learning new ideas, or self-education can be an adventure. So any type of adventure you could go on would be really good. I also think you need to be prepared to build something new. You have the Ten of Swords, Judgment, then you end with the Ace of Swords in the area of the good stuff. It just, putting the pieces of the puzzle together here, it looks to me like you're building something new in your life, and I feel that will be a good thing. With the Five of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Five of Swords. Yeah, I would be taking bigger risks. I mean, risks are the name of the game right now. I think that we shouldn't be taking stupid risk. We should be taking calculated risk, right? And so, the more risk that you can take, the better. The other type of risk that I think would be good for it, well, there's really one good type of risk right now, which is the risk of exposure. We have Pluto and Aquarius, and so with Pluto and Aquarius, the risk of speaking up and being wrong, the risk of speaking up at work and people calling you stupid, the risk of starting a YouTube channel and sharing your ideas and people calling you stupid, that's a good type of risk actually to take right now, because you might be worried about that, but at the same time, Pluto and Aquarius says we're in a time of attention. If we do things to get attention, yeah, sure, it's always a risk that people will call us stupid, but also it's not a risk because we'll probably become successful. So don't be afraid of speaking up with the Five of Swords, and that's definitely popping into my head. With the World card, you have the Page of Swords. Getting curious about the world, getting curious about new ideas. The Page of Swords always says to me that we should be following our curiosity. Some people look at it as spying and all this other stuff, which, yeah, sure, that could be true. I'm a holistic reader. I look at every single card that comes up in a reading, and I really don't see spying here, so that's not what I feel. And what I would say is I think that being curious is really what this card is asking you to be doing. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this powerful move card and this body and soul card. And sorry, I'm about to sneeze, maybe not. But it could be a good time to make some big moves. And that's the other type of risk that I wanted to talk about here with that Five of Swords. It's making those moves that you make bigger would also be good. And I'm not saying that you should be doing things anything crazy here, but bigger steps is what this is saying. It's in work or business. I would avoid taking the risk of spending a bunch of money on something you don't need. I would avoid that type of risk. That's not what we're talking about. But it's maybe you're thinking about starting a business, and maybe you're saying to yourself, I can give this 10 hours a week. But maybe the risk you could take is maybe for the first couple weeks you give it 20 hours, right? Just at first. So it's instead of, playing super small, taking a little bit of a risk and giving something a little bit extra, that's what we're talking about here with this bigger move. I would also tap into your body and see how your body feels with that body and soul card. You have the Judgment card, the Ten of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. Judgment can represent a wake-up call. I kind of feel like you're understanding something on a whole new level. Literally, that's what's popping into my head with this card, is that you are gaining a new understanding on something. It's I feel like you have downloaded information about a move that you're going to make, which could be good, very good for you, Sagittarius. Obviously, it's if you are getting the answers you need, and you can make better decisions, obviously that's going to benefit you big time. So whatever this is, I feel it's very beneficial. I think it will make you very much more successful as well. So I definitely like to see this with the Judgment card for sure. That's really all I get there. You have the Ten of Swords. Yeah, I think everybody has to deal with this right now. We had Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto obviously has moved into Aquarius, but Pluto is very slow moving. So we can still be feeling that energy from when it was in Capricorn for a while. And, the whole point of Pluto going from Capricorn to Aquarius, that cusp is the death of establishment. We are all being asked to release something that has been established in our life for a long time. It could be a belief system. It could be an idea. It could be a person, a place, a thing. It could be anything. But we're all being asked to release something from our lives. And, I just feel that with the Ten of Swords, that You could be releasing something. The funny thing is, with all these swords cards, it literally could just be an idea that you're releasing. Again, this can be a good thing. Astrology is not bad, You could maybe think that you aren't capable of doing something, and that is the idea you're releasing. You are starting to believe that you are more powerful than you actually think you are, right? With that power move card. So, again, this can be a good thing. It doesn't have to be a challenge. You have the Nine of Pentacles. I literally said to Aries, the first fire sign that I read for today, that I had a feeling that all fire signs would be getting the Nine of Pentacles, and I wasn't wrong. Nine of Pentacles, like independence, gratitude, luxuries, heaven on earth, all those good things. It's an amazing card for focus, and you go up to the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is my card of laser-like focus. We have to be very focused on exactly what we want with the Ace of Swords, and if we do focus, then we will get whatever it is that we want. So, again, I would definitely stay focused with the Ace of Swords. I would make sure you're focusing in life and, on things that you desire, because that will lead to the most success. With the Judgment card, you have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is a card of following your heart. Again, there could be some sort of resonance here. I would really pay attention to how you feel with that Judgment card. It's like, sometimes you do something and it just feels right. That's the best way I can describe what I'm feeling here on the Judgment card. It's like when you land on the right idea, I literally feel it will just feel right. Some of you could be having that this week. You could be having one of those moments. And it's definitely like a sign from the universe that I would pay very close attention to, Sag. Like, if you have that feeling where, like, one of those aha moments where you're just saying to yourself, yes, this is the right idea, then I would attack it. I would go for it on whatever that is. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Sun. The Sun can represent happiness, joy, peace, good things coming in for you. So I feel there could be a lot of happiness coming in for you, especially after the Ten of Swords. With the Ten of Swords, this would kind of represent like fortune after difficulty, and which I definitely feel Sagittarius needs. I think Sagittarius needs like a little bit of fortune after difficulty energy. I think Sagittarius needs a little bit of a break, and that could be what you're getting here with that card. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands, like quick success. So there could be like some sort of quick success or a quick conclusion coming in for you with the Eight of Wands. I also feel like the Eight of Wands could be you charging forward in a direction. So again, the more you focus on what you want, the more likely it is that you're going to get it. Eight of Wands is also focus. Now, the thing with Eight of Wands is you cannot be pulling in two different directions. You can only focus in one direction with the Eight of Wands. That's how you get what you want with the Eight of Wands. So I always tell people, like, yes, maybe you have to correct your thoughts. People always tell me that, like, I've been trying to manifest, but nothing ever works for me. I'm like, well, you are, because of what you just said, you are pulling in two different directions. And so, people who truly manifest, they don't talk like that. So you have to talk like you already have the things you want with the Eight of Wands, and you will get them. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Remember card and this Reframe card. I think, and you have the Temperance card as well, which is Alchemy. Which is a really good card for reframing things, right? And that's exactly what we just talked about. Instead of saying everything is bad, can you say everything is good, even if it isn't, right? Reframing is just the ability to transform one thing into another in your mind, like how you see it. And so that could be a very good energy for you, especially with Uranus and Gemini, for sure. It's like Gemini can see both sides of things. Gemini can say this is good, this is bad, right? And so reframing things and to be what you want them to be, it would be a very good idea for you here with these cards. You have the Four of Swords, the Temperance card, and the Death card. Four of Swords, of course, can be resting, relaxing, recovering, or healing. He's hoping and praying for blessings. There's a person here blessing another person in that stained glass window. And so I feel for a lot of you that I literally do feel it would be a good time for you to ask the universe for something, like make a wish type of energy going on here, Sag. You have the Ace of Swords right next to it, which could say, like, sure, the universe is basically, sure, if you ask for what you want, I'll deliver, so I really feel the universe could be delivering you something that you're asking for. It seems to be a really good time to focus on health. Again, you have this Body and Soul card. Four of Swords is resting, relaxing, recovering, and healing. And like I said, in the month of July, a lot of people have these cards of, like, really needing to make sure that you rest, relax, recover, and heal. You have the Temperance card. Temperance is, kind of like alchemy, turning one thing into another. I think that with the Eight of Wands and the Ace of Swords, that watching your words would be very good for you, and reframing things, from negative to positive, and staying positive, even if it feels like you're brainwashing yourself. Which good. I'm a big fan of brainwashing myself. People always tell me that I am ridiculously positive, and like to a fault, but I don't know, seems to work pretty freaking well for me. My results in life, not to brag, but but also this is coming from someone who was the king of stinking thinking, right? I used to be miserable, and that's why I spend so much time talking about this stuff, is because for like 5 years my life sucked bad, like really bad. And the only way I got out of it was positive thinking. And trust me, during that time, the last thing I wanted to hear was to think positively. Like, people used to tell me that all the time, and I that used to trigger me and make my blood boil more than anything. So I get it. I didn't want to hear it. But like, once I started thinking in a delusional, positive light, my life changed significantly, almost overnight. So, like, literally, at that time that I started thinking positively, I started this channel, right? Which greatly improved the quality of my life. That's like one thing that I did. There are like 900 other things that have happened since. So, again, I know it's not easy, because I was there and I've experienced it, but I also don't want anyone to go through it. That's why I talk about it so much, is because it's free, it costs no money, and it changed my life. So there you go. You have the Death card. The Death card can be a transformation or a change. Again, like we were talking about with the Ten of Swords, the king is dead on the Death card. And the king being dead represents the death of establishment. And so, the king can say that even kings die. That things you think will last forever, sometimes they don't. And that's okay. So sometimes we have to let things go. And I do feel this is encouraging you to let things go that no longer serve you, with that king being there. And also, again, you might have to let go of something that you've had a hard time letting go of. With the Four of Swords, you have the Ten of Wands. Yes, we need to be very, very careful of obligations right now. Like, what obligations do we really need? Personally, I like the Ten of Wands because he's about to reach his home in the background here, and he is carrying his harvest. So really, the Ten of Wands isn't a bad card. The exception is this month. The exception is July. For whatever reason, I feel like July, we really need to be careful with our obligations. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think anything bad will happen. I just think it's saying, don't burn yourself out, right? We will always have obligations in life. We only have so much energy to give to the actual obligations that are important, right? And so the obligations that aren't important, I would, examine your obligations right now, and I would say, do I really need to do these things, or is there a better way? Or could someone else do this? Or does this even belong to me, right? And get rid of those things that don't belong to you. Lighten the load, right? That's what the card is saying. Here you go. With the Temperance card, you show up here. Both your cards right there. Temperance is Sagittarius, and the Wheel of Fortune is Sagittarius. So both your cards show up here. Whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength, allows you to get what you want from the reading. But this could represent a change in your fortunes or a change in your luck. So there could be a lot more luck coming in for you here. With the Death card, you have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords, like resting, relaxing, recovering, and healing. So I think it would be an amazing time for you to focus on healing, like we already said. You have the Four of Swords twice here. This could also be about, with the Ten of Wands, this could be about letting go of those beliefs that hold you back, letting go of those beliefs that make you feel small. There is something about this reading that is saying that you need to think big. I think that, take anything that you're setting out to do, multiply it by 1,000. Even, like I always say, even if you don't get that 1,000x on the goal that you want, even if you only get 10 times better than what you wanted, that's still 10 times better than what you wanted, right? So I'm a big fan of being delusionally positive right now, because we had Neptune in Pisces. Neptune will be retrograding back into Pisces. We have one more chance, right, to accomplish the big impossible dream. That's Neptune and Pisces. But we do have to be a little bit delusional, but also realistic. We have to balance both sides, right? So we can dream big, but we also have to kind of say, basically, even if I don't 1,000x this, if I get 10x, that's better than what I wanted, right? Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Angels Are Watching card. It says, there's nothing to worry about. Angels are watching over you. There you go. You have this Blessed Ideas card. It says, allow your ideas to come to fruition, and they will bring many blessings. I think I said that earlier. Something about ideas with all the swords cards. I'm pretty sure. So your ideas are blessed at this time, literally. I didn't even see that card, so that's pretty crazy. But your ideas could be leading to a lot of success. You have the Ace of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. Ace of Swords could be a victory, so I feel that there could be a big victory, and Ace of Swords can absolutely be a blessed idea, and I would start working on your ideas. The other thing that just popped into my head intuitively is like someone could be spilling their guts to you, by the way. You have the King of Wands and Queen of Wands, which is great, divine counterparts, but someone could be like spilling their guts, telling you that they like you or something like that. Here, Sag, so that could be good if you want love. This could also be you. I mean, you could be speaking up to a person that you're interested in if you wanted to. And, again, I think that would be very good for you as well if you want love, like I said. So, definitely very good. You have the King of Wands. King of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. We are in a time where we do have to be more bold and assertive. I've been saying for like 2 years now that fortune favors the bold. It's like we're not really in a time where we can be timid in all that other stuff. And I know that's hard if you are, but at the same time, I would practice being brave and bold. And yeah, it does take practice, right? And so that's what I would say here with the King of Wands. And I would be brave and bold. I would also be working on your confidence, being more confident. But it's like I feel like it's more personal confidence, like as in believing in yourself more. And I would work on that. You have the Queen of Wands. Again, if you could be attracting a divine counterpart, and if you are, I feel this could be very positive. Queen of Wands is about learning as you go. Queen of Wands is about being bold, being assertive. She needs to do those things, which is a little bit different than the King of Wands. He already is those things, but she needs to learn those things. She's also my card of learning as you go. So you might not know exactly like where you're going right now, but as long as you're enjoying the journey, you will be fine. With the Ace of Swords, here you go. You have the Four of Wands. Someone could be telling you they're in love with you or they want to marry you, or it could be you as well. But yeah, definitely looks very good for love. This could be a very strong commitment coming in for you, Sag. It could be something that really makes you very happy. And again, it doesn't mean you have to get married today. This could be something that happens in the future. The Four of Wands is also a card of freedom. And, the Ace of Swords can sometimes represent overcoming an obstacle. But I feel like a powerful move is the thing that will help you overcome an obstacle and set you free. And that's what I would be doing with these cards, is like making any big moves that you can. With the King of Wands, you have the Empress. Yes, very attractive at this time, Sag, obviously. So, again, if you're attracting love, someone either finds you very attractive or someone is attracted to you, or you're both. I mean, you're probably both attracted to each other, honestly. I feel like you could be creating more abundance here. A lot of the reading is talking about ease. The Empress is a card of ease. All she has to do is wave that scepter in front of her and the wheat will grow, right? She doesn't have to do a bunch of work to get that wheat to grow. You have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands can say that you're doing things the hard way. And you need to put your burdens down and learn the easy way to do things. With the Queen of Wands, yes, you have the Chariot. Yep, definitely charging towards a victory here. I mean, the whole entire reading kind of says that you are charging towards some sort of victory or big success in your life, which is great. The Chariot is all about setting yourself apart, which definitely with Uranus in your opposite sign soon enough, you definitely could be setting yourself apart in some way. You have this bowl. It says plenty of material things. Very good. Definitely very good for money. I mean, we do see good money cards here. Empress, showing up here. Chariot, even Nine of Pentacles twice. And, all this other good stuff. Seven of Pentacles. So, we do see a lot of good energy for, for good stuff. You don't have the Nine of Pentacles twice. I don't know why I said that. I thought you had it twice. You have it once. But you have the Empress. Empress, Nine of Pentacles is pre-Empress energy. So, definitely could be a lot of abundance coming in here. You have this Grapes card that says time to go out and have fun. Every single person gets these cards of needing to have more fun. I think that the energy is too serious. We need to get the energy to move the other direction, right? So we need to bring more fun, love, happiness, joy, peace into the world. You have this Heart card that says love, deep affection, and caring. Yes, I mean, again, if you're attracting love, this could be a very, very loving, caring person. It could be a person who has very deep feelings as well. I kind of feel like it's both people, honestly. I mean, it's not really a love reading, but if you are attracting love, I think that you both will care for each other a lot. You have this basket. It says recognition, reward for merit. Yeah, again, Pluto and Aquarius. I mean, for the next 20 years, it is anything we can do to get attention on the work that we're doing will probably lead to recognition. It's just that simple. So do whatever you can to stand out. You have this vase card. It says secret admirer on it. And so, yeah, definitely could be a secret admirer coming in for you here with these two cards. Could also be you. So it's like maybe you're the one that needs to spill your guts. You're going to have to be honest with yourself. But this all looks pretty good here, Sag. I really like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.